In the long list of epic sci-fi horror movies, where will Ash rank? We'll talk about that in this review. Hello everyone and welcome to Flickering Myth. My name is EJ Marino and we are diving into the new Flying Lotus directed movie, Ash. I'm not only excited to share my review for this movie right here with you guys, but in a few days, I'm able to share my interviews with Eiza, González, Aaron Paul, and director Flying Lotus. Wow, they made me fall in love with this movie even more, especially Flying Lotus talking about the video game inspirations for this movie. It is so interesting, intriguing, compelling. I was curious about Ash. You know, sci-fi horror films, I feel like you've seen one, you've seen them all. If you've seen Alien or if you've seen Event Horizon, you kind of get what we could do. It's space-time horror. Cool. This movie is a bit different. I really liked, one, the acting. Eiza González is such a good lead actress in this. She really has a lot to carry, and with, you know, not a lot of scene partners, with not a lot of like heavy plot stuff to work on, it's really dependent on her acting, her being able to sell this situation, and it is sold brilliantly. And then you get Aaron Paul in here, and he is just chewing up scenery, being a great addition to this film. Yeah, overall, I really did like Ash. This was not my typical genre. As you can see, I love horror, but sci-fi horror can sometimes be a bit redundant, a bit predictable. This was surreal and weird and interesting. It felt at times like a video game, which is what I talked to Flying Lotus about, is the survival horror aspect of it. That's where this movie really started to win me over, when it started to feel like a video game. And sometimes that could be a insult to movies of, oh, that felt like a video game. Not this one though. I felt like I was in there in a ride watching some high concept like Death Stranding kind of cutscene. It was really interesting. I was really compelled by what Ash was able to conjure up. Director Flying Lotus is known for his surreal tunes, you know, making some very avant-garde music. So I was like expecting his movies to be just as strange. And yeah, you know, he started off okay with some weird stuff, but this is where I think he really shines in the horror genre, and specifically getting really strange. After a woman wakes up on her space center with her whole crew dead and no memory of what happens, she has to unearth what all of the details are. What is the planet? What's going on? How do I survive? What killed my crew? Well, is it her? Is it this mysterious new man played by Aaron Paul that shows up as well? Who is it? That's kind of the mystery that we're figuring out, is what happened with her. I love the idea of playing with memory, of this actress, you know, her having to play this character, and obviously she knows what's going on in the script, but having to play it and realistically play it like she's unearthing details. She's finding out these new information as it goes on, and it felt organic and real. It felt like I was really discovering this along with her. That was a really interesting part of this movie, was really being able to kind of immerse you in this experience, much like going back to video games. You want to be able to feel like you're in this world. The acting definitely helps. The plot definitely helps, because again, it's not the most complex, high concept, you know, we're not doing Interstellar level like philosophy here, but we are exploring the memory aspect. We are exploring what happens when you are just not sure. It's such a weird, small concept. You may think of like, what happens when you're not sure? But there, just the way it was executed here, you felt the scaredness, but you also felt the, how do I handle this? You know, Eiza González's character does really well playing this like self-assured woman at first. You know, I love that she feels like a main character in like Dino Crisis, which again, when you see my Flying Lotus interview, that Dino Crisis reference hits so good. But yeah, she feels like a Jill Valentine, the character in Dino Crisis, you know, someone from Silent Hill. She has that aspect of like, she's strong, she's lost in this weird world, but she's not like letting it overwhelm her. She's just taking it in stride and rolling along with it. I absolutely love that. And then like Aaron Paul, you know him from Breaking Bad. I remember him from the Weird Birds of Prey TV show. He's in like the pilot in the premiere episode. I remember that back in the day in Last House on the Left. This is an actor I like. So seeing him here and just seeing him like kind of scale himself back a little bit to let Eiza just have this turn and this chance to really shine. It's great. He's a great supporting actor. Supporting actors are great. Like they are there to support the story, the main character, the whole plot, and he does that excellently. Yes, with Neil Blomkamp, who is a great sci-fi horror, weird director who is infamous for these kind of movies, when he executive produces this, we're in for a show, and I'm so happy Flying Lotus was able to conjure this up. I'm so glad he found this script. This definitely seems like one of those scripts that you start reading and you go, I need to know everything about this. He was able to take this script and I think elevate it to a whole different level. Another filmmaker could have got this, Neil Blomkamp, and could have done well with it. And then could have also went very wrong. Very straight to streaming sci-fi horror movie. There's a lot of them. You start going through the Wikipedia for sci-fi horror, and you're like, 8 movies came out last year of the same plot. Okay. Yeah, this definitely feels unique and refreshing and fun. And just Flying Lotus as a filmmaker, he's one that we need to seriously watch out for. Not only are his scores amazing, but the sound design. You could tell he's a musician about how much he puts into that sound design, puts it into an auditory and visual experience. You really are able to be immersed. The acting is a big part of that, but so is the directing. Flying Lotus, I think, is going to be one of these filmmakers that every time he drops a movie, I will be up there to see it, because it's just he has a way of making it like, oh, that's what you're doing, and that's a feeling I want, especially in a subgenre I've seen enough of. When you make me go, oh, that is the best feeling I could have, and that's what I did throughout this movie multiple times. Yes, that is my review for Ash. I liked it. It's good. It's not going to change your life. It's not like the newest sci-fi horror film that's going to be revolutionary, but I liked it. I thought Flying Lotus is a hell of a director. I thought our two main actors, there is other actors here like Iko Uwais, who I love. Flying Lotus has a small role as well. Yeah, I loved the acting. I loved the world. When they dropped that title card 7 minutes in, I said, ooh, you're doing one of them movies. And it was. And it was great. I had a good time with it. What did you guys think of Ash? Did you like this sci-fi horror, weird, surreal experience? Or is this not your kind of movie? If you were able to see it at South by Southwest, how did it play with a crowd? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, thumbs up, all those YouTuber stuff, the bells and the whistles, all that jazz. And let's talk about Ash and Flying Lotus directed movies right down below.